I want to start with two questions. How many of you believe that you know everything? How many of you believe that you know everything that you do not know? So it's very hard to say that we know everything and when we don't even know what we do not know. There are so many uncertainties in life, and we are still trying to create an amazing life for ourselves and for others. Amazing, isn't it? Can it even be possible? Yes, it is. Focus on things that really matter and are in your control, and focus towards achieving the goals you desire, instead of focusing on things that is beyond your control. There is nothing much you can do. You can only worry about it. In life, if you want to achieve something amazing, you need to first work on the skills that is necessary to achieve these goals. And this will also give you confidence that you need while you're in this journey. See, life creates situation which is favorable to you multiple times. You only need to walk into that situation with two criteria. One, you need to have the skill. The second criteria is the confidence. When you walk into the situation with these two criteria, you own the situation. When you walk into these situations without these two criteria, you won't even know that you have arrived. And this will happen to everyone, all of us, at some point in our life. If it hasn't happened to you, don't worry, it will happen to you in the future, right? Here, what is important is to focus on things that is in your control. That is skill and the confidence. Forget about when it is going to happen, why it will happen, because this is beyond your control. So in my life, in our school days, I used to be curious, and I used to be in every possible sport, and I even excelled in few of them. I won a few championships for my school. But computers is something I never even was interested in. And today, I run a digital transformation company for last 12 years, which caters to the global client base. Entrepreneurship was not even part of my plan. It just happened to me. I used to admire business people for all the successes they've created, wealth they have generated, and jobs they have created. But that is it, nothing beyond that. In a particular situation in my life, I had to take up BCA as my career path. I wasn't sure if that was the right thing, because computer was never my interest, but I went with it. And while doing this, I met an interesting student in my school who was creating a pet project where he used to work on computer simulations, which is traffic simulation. And he improvised this every single day with full passion. This was not even part of a curriculum. And this ignited the spark of why can't I do this? Even I started to program, and I saw that I was not that bad. I started taking up some quizzes just to improve my skills. And from not knowing what to do in computers or not being interested, now I know how to even program. I remember during my MCA days, we all used to meet up for group studies. And these were long sessions where a lot of information were being exchanged. Teaching, learning, exhaustive sessions. And after these long sessions, we usually went out to take a break and just feel relaxed. And when we get back to study, I used to be the first guy who used to go to sleep. And obviously nobody liked this situation because we were planning the all-nighters, and here I am sleeping. And I used to justify this by telling my friends, guys, I need to work really hard in future, so let me rest right now. So I want to relax. And you know what actually happened. I don't know if my friends cursed me or the gods really heard me. Every project that I was part of after I got my first job had always crazy deadlines. And I always had to stretch and no rest at all after that. So I was one among the first batches that was placed from our college. There were about 60 students from different places, and we were working on various projects. And on the demo day, we had to present what work we have done to everybody in the company. The CEO of the company liked what I did, and he picked me to work on the very first project in the company. And the expectations were very high, and my skills, I was the only fresher in the group, right? So I had to actually stretch myself, learn things so that I deliver things on time. And again, I had to stretch myself, right? There was absolutely no rest that I had already taken during my MCA days. But nothing to complain about, because now obviously at that point it was very stressful, but obviously when I look back, that is the thing, that moment defined what I will be in the future. I can appreciate that today. I always tell people that knowledge is an asset. So invest more in knowledge, and one day you will be rich. And this is the mantra I always follow. And after a few years of working, I think I've done enough, so now I should start a journey of an entrepreneur. So I stepped out of the company and evaluated a few businesses. What I realized that I was not really interested in different kind of businesses, and I wanted to only focus on things that I'm good at, that is programming. And now my journey started as an entrepreneur. See, entrepreneurship gives you a lot of independence to what you want to do, but it also comes with a lot of responsibilities. You need to be extremely hardworking. You need to be self-disciplined. You need to take some tough decisions when it really matters. See, a dream without an action will just remain a dream. A dream with a phenomenal execution becomes reality. So now my journey started, and I had to recruit my winning team. So I reached out to two friends of mine. The first one was an amazing programmer. He's an amazing programmer even today. So this guy helped me solve one of the extreme challenges in a very important projects in the past. I reached out to him to see if he would want to join the bandwagon, and he immediately agreed. I even reached out to another friend from my college project to join us to start this company. And I actually remember staying in his house for almost a week, trying to convince him to quit and join us. It was a very hard decision because all of us were doing very well in our life. And that was a peak of iOS development. But today when I look back, that was the best decision that we had made. I also want you to know, being an entrepreneur, you have to build a very, very good appetite for handling stress. Nothing will go as per plan. Things will change. You will meet people who may not even care about what you're doing. You might meet a few people who would support you. You might meet a few people who would actually put you down. But that is not even the focus in the first place. You cannot be really let down with things like this, because that is the reality of life. You need to keep moving forward. And you need to be relevant. When you start a company, you need to focus on things that is relevant today. So when we started, there were very few iOS developers, and we did really well. Over time, we built more capabilities. We have built a few hundred applications, and few of them got also featured by Apple, Microsoft, Intel, but that wasn't enough. We even won a few design awards, but that was still not enough. And we kept building the skills. Today, we have the best team, best design team, we have the best automation team, we have the best AI ML team, and we are very good in cloud operations as well. Another thing, you need to be very nimble, in this whole process. Things change every now and then. Environments change. And in business, this is the most critical. The time you take the decision and what kind of decision you take. So for us, for everyone, COVID is the best example. What we saw during COVID, that few of our employees were finding it very hard to reach office, because of the restrictions at the Kerala border. And we also realized that this poses a huge risk to their health and their family's health if they keep coming to office. But the question was, how do we do this? There is data protection that we have an agreement with our customers. Not everyone had laptops because our designers use iMacs. Not everybody had backups at their house, and so many other challenges. But we somehow figured how to work around all of this, and we made it happen. Few years down the line, while we were doing the trial, the PM announced lockdown. Many companies panicked, and we were in a very there was absolutely no disruption because we did it on every weekend, and we didn't even have a single dollar of billing that we lost during this time. We were functional as we used to function. That was a very happy moment for us. There was another situation where we were trying to bid for a project in the US, and we were the tiniest company. There were all the biggies, Indian IT giants, who were also bidding for this project. The client was convinced that we had the skill. They were looking for a niche skill, and we had that skill. But they had concerns, because they've never worked with a complete offshore team. So they were like, how will this even work out? I jumped into this situation. I saw this uncertainty as an opportunity. I told them, hey, this is the right time for you to experiment with something like this, right? And you will know if this works or if it doesn't work, as long as you know that we have the skill. And I will take the commitment to deliver this project. And 6 months down the line, this is a multi-billion-dollar company with 50 years of history. And we had delivered this project. The CEO got on a call of this project, and he congratulated everything, and he made a statement. This was the fastest delivered project in the history of our company. And that is very, very satisfying to us. So in different stages of your life, right, the challenges vary. When you start a company, first of all, attracting people itself is a challenge. Then you will end up facing situations where you don't know how to face, because you have never faced this in the past. There are regulations that you need to follow. There are compliances you need to follow. And at certain time, your team also will give up because they cannot handle the stress. And you have to go through all these phases. Scaling up challenges are very different. You will also hit a crossroad where every direction looks right, and the decisions you make here defines the future of the company. And sometimes I wonder what motivated me to do this, right? And I can think of 3 things. The first thing is the maturity. When you start observing how the world functions, you will exactly know how to solve the problem. And this has nothing to do with age. You need to start observing and working how the work functions. Second, clarity of vision. So and this comes with a lot of experience and learning. So you need to be continuously learning, right? The third thing are those small little wins that you had over years, which motivates you to work harder and keep moving forward. I also want to say the best companies and ideas are born during crisis. You may know Steve Jobs' story. He was asked to leave the company, and that is when he created Next, and that is when he created Pixar. And Next is the core of what Apple does today. You might have also heard about J.K. Rowling. So she was at the lowest of the low in her life due to her divorce and financial conditions. And that is when she realized, I think I need to focus on what matters and forget of all the things that is not in my control. And today we have Harry Potter. So with this, I want to leave you all with a quote from a very popular author, Nassim Nicholas Taleb, in his book called Anti-Fragile, where he says, wind extinguishes the candle but energizes fire. What he means metaphorically here is wind is the uncertainty which comes into your life. You need to embrace uncertainty and learn from trial and errors, which will lead you to growth and improvement. Thank you.